Bell and Rienstra inactive today. This the spread when they go to the wide receivers with the rookie Callaway and Stone, who should see additional action today, coming on. So the Steelers on first down. Brister with the time, short range, and Hodge could not hold on. Bobby Brister going to the air on first down. John Offerdahl with the hit on Merrill Hodge. The Dolphins front seven. Carl Wilson starting at left defensive end in place of T.J. Turner, a late arrival here last night back from his mother's funeral that took place yesterday in Houston. John Offerdahl, the key to the linebacking core. It is a 2nd and 10 at the 35. Tim Worley, an unhappy man, coming off the 3 carries, 8 yards against the Raiders last week. Earlier this week, asked to be traded, and then kind of talked around it when the Pittsburgh Steelers said, "Get out of here. You're not serious about this." Back to the defensive alignment in the passing situation. You'll see these changes. They call it the 47. Kumaro, Glenn, Thomas, Hobley coming on, 7 defensive backs involved. This is the normal secondary. The safety men, excellent. Jarvis Williams, Lewis Oliver, the high draft picks a year ago. 3rd down and 5. Just underway at 3 Rivers. And Brister hauled down back behind the line, and you can hear the crowd reacting on this quickie series. The right corner, J.B. Brown, up to make the stop.
There were 3 guys out in the pattern, and Hill and Malarkey are together, no place to go, and the other one is Hodge coming out into the pattern, and here's Brister, and when he's looking downfield, there's no one open to throw the football to, so he has to eat it.
And here is Dan Straczynski, a first-year player from Indiana, back to punt, and Tony Martin is back. And Martin is plowed under, looked to be unsure in fielding that punt, and the Steelers with good coverage. A 37-yard punt. Gerald Williams making the tackle on Martin. Here comes Dan Marino. The offensive line, the 2 huge rookies on the left side. Richmond Webb, first-round draft pick, 6'6", 298. Keith Sims, second-round draft pick, 6'2", 305. Smith and Page are the running backs. Clayton, Duper, Edmonds are the receivers. First down at the 27. That's Page 49 in motion. Marino off the roll. And able to complete for the first down. A 15-yard pickup for Mark Duper. David Johnson, the left corner, on the stop. Now, when the Dolphins go to the passing situation, they go 4 wideouts along with Clayton and Duper. They are joined by Fred Banks, Tony Martin, Jim Jensen. Jensen usually lines up in the backfield. So the first down for Miami at the 42-yard line. The Dolphins' first series. The handoff to Smith. Stopped by the nose tackle, Gerald Williams. And here's how the Steelers line up defensively. Up front, Willis, Williams, and Evans. Outstanding linebackers, spearheaded by Brian Hinkle, who leads the Steelers in tackles and in the passing alignment. Steelers refer to it as the dime. Aaron Jones, Dwayne Woodruff, Larry Griffin come on. Marino out to midfield, short of the first down. Picked up 6 on the play. Tony Page on the reception. Page, an excellent pass catcher and a solid blocker.
Well, when you talk to the coaches and you ask, and there's this rest of the secondary for the Steelers, these are the guys that are in there all the time, Johnson, Woodson, Lake, and Everett. But when you were talking to Shula yesterday, you mentioned Page to him, Marv, he just started smiling first. He waited and paused. He said he does it all.
Says he has been the biggest surprise of the season for Miami. And it was a big surprise when they found his name on the unprotected list of the Detroit Lions. 3rd down and 2. Here's Smith, close to the marker. Tripped up by the right defensive end, Donald Evans. And let's see where they spot it. The referee today is Jerry Austin. They are calling for a measurement.
They'll make it by half the ball. This will be a first down.
And Paul, you have the good angle right on the 50 here.
It isn't easy when you're lined up right on.
Very nice. Let's see if the naked eye does not lie.
See that?
Very nice.
Ta-da! First guess was right. Boy, we were hitting it good, huh?
I would rest on that one for him.
That's it.
And there is Chuck Noll, 22nd year as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was an assistant under Don Shula when both were with the Baltimore Colts in the late 60s. First down at the Pittsburgh 47. Marino getting the protection. Sideline pass incomplete. Rod Woodson applying the hit on Mark Clayton.
Rod Woodson, you talk about perfect position and playing the man. Clayton goes down and he looks like he's going to go deep, and Marino is over here looking at him all the way. When Clayton pulls up, watch where Rod Woodson ends up, right there. Perfect position to play defense as a corner, and he's tough. Last week, I'll tell you how tough he was. He punched a guy in the mouth who was 6'6", 330 pounds. Fitzpatrick.
Rod Woodson, one of the NFL's superb cornerbacks. Don Shula telling us last night, in fact, he refers to him as the Lawrence Taylor of the Pittsburgh defense. Again, Marino with the time, but good coverage. Duper covered by Woodson. No opening at all, and Marino threw it away.
You know, when you have Woodson playing that well, and he said this is the best player on his team, Don Shula did. Watch Woodson. Now watch him close. Here comes Duper, and here comes Woodson. If that ball is catchable, the only one who's going to catch it would have been Rod Woodson.
You know, Woodson still has visions of becoming a wide receiver.
Yeah, well, they don't.
Still talks about it.
The coaches don't.
It's a third down and 10. Seventh play of the drive. Marino able to hit Jensen for the first down. Woodson on the tackle, picked up 11, and Miami keeps the drive going.
You know, Jensen last week just did not have a good game. It was his first game back and didn't do well. But on third down situations, I know that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to try and cover him with number 53, Brian Hinkle. But Jensen is the guy that, in last resort, Marino's going to find him because he knows that he is going to be open.
Paul, you get the idea that the Miami coaching staff told the players during the week, throw out the game against the Giants. They are on another level. They were completely strangled by the Giants. Sammy Smith with a very short pickup. Greg Lloyd, the outside linebacker, was right there.
Lloyd made just a super play. He spins out and gets right into the play and holds it to a 2-yard gain. He also had Rod Woodson in with him. But number 95, watch Lloyd here. Now he's going inside. Now watch for him spin out. He comes back and look where he is. Look at the position he's in to make the play. That's outstanding linebacker play. You take on the tight end. You know the play is going outside of you. He spins back to the outside and is in position to make the play.
A 2nd and 8 at the 33. No score. First quarter. 5 minutes gone by. Marino able to dump it off. Combining with Page inside the 30-yard line. Donald Evans on the stop.
David Little, number 50, the linebacker, came up the middle, and no one blocked him. Marino's pointing out, hey, look it. You see the guy in the black shirt? Do we have white shirts on? When you see a guy in a black shirt, try to block him. At least slow him down a little bit.
It is a third down and 4. The ball at the Pittsburgh 29-yard line. And this capacity crowd at Three Rivers urging the defensive unit on. Marino has another first down. Jensen inside the 20, picked up 10, met by A.J. Jenkins.
A.J. Jenkins is there, but they let Jensen come out of the backfield, and really nobody was on him. And they know that Marino is going to throw the ball to him. Jensen's going to come out to the right of the screen. Now watch when he comes right in. Look at the right of your screen. There he is. Now there's A.J. Jenkins is there, but he's so far off. There's a first down. You've got to put a man on him.
Marino's hit 5 of 7, 47 yards. Good-looking drive being run here by the Dolphins. 83, Clayton in motion. Marino looked that way. Now looking the other way and throws it high and far. Good rush by Keith Willis. Dan Marino, who experienced one of his poorer days in the NFL last week, only 14 for 34, 2 interceptions against the Giants. He was erratic, out of sync. Last year, injury plagued, had the elbow, rib, shoulder problem. Still managed to put up big numbers. Led the AFC in passing yardage. Among the leaders in touchdown passes, but picked off 22 times. 12th play of the drive. 2nd down and 10 at the 19. And it is nearly picked off. Intended for Duper. And Thomas Everett, who's back in the starting lineup, coming back from that concussion injury, had a good shot at it.
Yeah, he did. You want to see Duper stop? Watch this. When he comes out, he sees Everett coming out, and he sees the linebackers there. Watch him. You see him stop? Whoop, I don't want it. No, it better hit me in the chest because I'm not reaching. And there's number 27, Everett, right there. And he's one of the toughest safeties in football, pound for pound.
Larry Griffin was the starter at free safety, with Everett working his way back following that opening day injury. 3rd down and 10. And Marino completes for the 1st down. Mark Clayton, well, wait a moment. No, short of the 1st down. Out of the 10, needs the 9. Carnell Lake, the strong safety, on the stop. Let's see where they spot it.
I'll tell you what, they gave him a great spot here. Clayton is going to come underneath. He fights out with the safety. And right here, now look where the ball is. The ball is at the 10. The ball never gets to the 9, and they move the ball almost to the 9-yard line. That's a bad spot.
But it is 4th and less than a yard. And the Dolphins go for it and pick up the 1st down. Sammy Smith hit down by Brian Hinkle. Miami now 1st and goal on their opening drive, a long one. The clock is running, 7:15 remaining in this opening quarter.
Mr. Shula is no longer conservative. 4th down, no points on the board. He went for it, but they did. They got a Miami Dolphins got a great spot on that play because Clayton never got beyond the 10-yard line. And I know you measure the ball, but the ball never got there either.
1st and goal at the 8. Clayton is to the right. And Duper left, back to Smith. Gets a couple. Bobbled it. And able to cover up on it. David Little with the stop. Looked like Tony Page on the recovery. So Smith did cough it up.
Smith did fumble the ball. He goes right inside. Now watch 49 is Page. As soon as he sees that ball come out, there he is, right on the ball. Evans, number 66, was there, but Page had the better angle at it.
It is a 2nd and goal. Down at the 8. Dolphins and Steelers scoreless. 6:15 left in the 1st quarter. And Marino able to complete. Hardy Nickerson with the tackle of Troy Stratford, preventing Stratford from getting to the goal line.
Again, when it's the coverage that Marino wants. Troy Stratford, 23, coming out. Hardy Nickerson is number 54. Now you have a linebacker covering a back, but you also have a receiver downfield. It's in the same area. I don't think that, and I think it was Duper, I don't believe that he was supposed to be there. He was supposed to be inside the end zone.
Troy Stratford, excellent 3rd down back. He's made it back from a serious knee injury. 17th play of this drive. 3rd and goal at the 1. And it's Smith for the touchdown. Sammy Smith diving over to give the Dolphins a 6-0 lead.
You know, you talk about Sammy Smith diving over, but this offensive line all the way down the field, they've controlled the defensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They get everybody down. Once they get them down, it gives Smith a chance to go up over the top. They didn't let the defensive line stand them up.
Sammy Smith, the first of Miami's 2 first-round picks a year ago, had the big day, opening day, 159 yards on the ground in that victory over New England. And here's Pete Stoyanovich. And he Dolphins on the extra point. Long drive by the Dolphins. 5:23 to go. First quarter. Dolphins 7. And the Steelers. Miami had the ball 8 minutes and 7 seconds. 17 plays, 73 yards, and a good start for Dan Marino and the Miami offense. In fact, Marino hit 5 different receivers in going 7 for 11 on that drive. Pete Stoyanovich in his second season out of Indiana, kicking away to Rod Woodson, and a good kick. And Woodson will stay right there. It is a 7-0 lead for Miami with 5:15 remaining in the opening quarter.
It's the right beer now.
But it's not right now.
It's the right beer now.
Definitely not now.
Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
And absolutely, positively not now.
Get you anything else?
No, I've had enough.
Let me call you a cab.
Yeah, good idea.
Did you ever think you'd see the day when a car could actually call you if it's being stolen? With Toronto's Visual Information Center and mobile phone, next time it's 11 o'clock, you'll know where your car is.
This is a new generation of olds.
Heard from an old student. Remember Brian McKenna? Smart kid.
Good ball player. Great hands.
Where's he going to college? He's not.
Oh, too bad.
Studying aviation electronics.
But you said...
In the Navy. Then college.
The Navy College Fund in Montgomery GI Bill. Over $25,000 for your college education.
You and the Navy.
Like I said, smart kid.
Full speed ahead.
17 years ago, Oldsmobile offered the public the first airbag. So when other car companies proclaim their undying devotion to your safety, remember who pioneered the airbag.
This is a new generation of olds.
Check out the early scores. A 1-yard run by Bobby Humphrey for Denver. The Bills say it's payback time. Last year, Denver beating Buffalo 28-14. Denver getting the early lead. Dallas and the Giants no score. And Detroit with a 7-0 lead on a Rodney Peete touchdown pass to Robert Clark on a 4-yard play. Tampa Bay in front of Minnesota 7-0. So Bubby Brister and the Pittsburgh offense start out from the 20. And Paul, this offense has not scored a touchdown, not including preseason, since the second quarter of their playoff game in Denver 9.5 months, 14 quarters ago. In fact, they produced only 2 sustained drives that led to field goals. That's how bad it has gone. Here's Merrill Hodge trying the right side. The #1 draft pick, Eric Green, who played briefly on that opening series, is doubling up at tight end with Malarkey. Eric Green, a holdout, activated this past Monday, is slated to see limited action here today.
There's one thing about Pittsburgh's offense that everybody knows, that they're going to try and trap you. They're going to try and run the ball. That is something that hasn't changed. The terminology in those plays that changed a little bit from last year, but they still line up and say, we're going to come at you. Here they come again.
And here's Worley on a 2nd and 7, hit back behind the line. And the crowd reacts as David Griggs was able to shed the block of Mike Malarkey to make the stop.
Well, Alfred Dahl was talking about Griggs and what a great year he's having. And here is Griggs, number 92. Watch this. Malarkey's trying to block him, turn him inside, but he gets not only through Malarkey, but he also gets through Hodge and makes the play. That's hustle.
David Griggs spent most of last season on Miami's developmental squad. He is the starter. E.J. Jr. has been the backup. It's a 3rd down and 8 at the 22. Dolphins with a 7-0 lead. 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Brister goes the middle, and he is able to complete to Lips at the marker. Looked like J.B. Brown attempted to keep Lips away from the first down and succeeded. So Dan Straczynski will check in with the punting unit.
Now, and you think about it, now here comes Lips, an experienced receiver coming across the field. The 30-yard line is the marker. Watch where Lips is. He's inside the marker. Just a great play by Brown to stop him from getting the first down.
Straczynski punting again to Tony Martin. Martin, a first-year player from Mesa in Colorado, who was held in check by the Giants last week. Good punt, got the hang time, and Martin calls for the fair catch. So a 44-yard punt by Straczynski. Miami will have the ball again with 3:06 left, first quarter.
As part of the Oldsmobile Edge, standard on every new Olds, we give you 30 days or 1,500 miles to return your new Olds for any reason. Who says you can't get any satisfaction?
This is the new generation of Olds.
Just a reminder, proper maintenance with AC Delco parts can significantly reduce premature wrinkles. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
One feature of the Oldsmobile Edge is, if your vehicle is disabled, we'll reimburse you so you can rent a car, pay for a hotel, and feed your family up to $500. So pack an Olds on your next trip.
This is the new generation of Olds.
Building security for today and tomorrow is a fragile task. You need to protect what you've worked for, your home and car, a business, while investing in your dreams, college for your children, a comfortable retirement. But it can all be washed away without the right foundation. Kemper, for insurance, for investments. Kemper is the name to build on.
It's acclaimed as the best new series of the season.
Life stories.
Seen through the eyes of a woman desperate to get pregnant.
All we want is a baby. Life stories.
I don't want to minimize the risk.
Witness the miracle of modern medicine that can save the life of her unborn child. It will touch your heart.
Life stories.
Sunday at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
Welcome back to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire on an overcast day. It did rain up until 12 noon. We may get some rain later on. And Miami now first down from the 27, back to the ground. Sammy Smith picked up a couple. David Little, a native of Miami, making the stop along with Donald Evans.
Well, you take a look at Tony Page, number 49. Now, he's the blocker up in the hole. You see him trying to get through the hole, separating people. Then he comes out on Little. Not very ferocious, but it's, you know, it's
ferocious,
time-consuming.
Yes.
It's like it'll run the clock down a little bit.
And the Dolphins certainly have been doing that. Their previous drive lasted 8 minutes and 7 seconds, leading to the touchdown. Marino throws it away. Duper in the area, and we're set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas at NFL Live.
All right, Marvin, Buffalo, a pair of 2-1 teams, the Broncos and the Bills. Denver's first possession, Bobby Humphrey caps a 12-play, 80-yard drive, going over from the 1, his third TD of the season. Broncos with the early 7-0 lead. Back to Marvin Paul.
Thank you, Bob. Just under 2.5 minutes to go. First quarter, 7-0. Miami with the lead on Pittsburgh. Dolphins looking at a third down and 7. And Marino avoiding the rush and running or sliding for the first down.
You know, it didn't look like much there, but this offensive line, now you got to understand, they're a young offensive line for the Miami Dolphins, and so far they have done the job. The one thing that Pittsburgh talked about, it's difficult to sack Marino. What we want to do is try to hurry him. This time, watch what the offensive line does. They force everybody to the left, and here comes Marino. Everybody's back because they don't expect him to run. He rarely does, and he picks up the first down. I give credit to the offensive line.
Picked up 10 on the play. Miami's 7th first down. Marino's so difficult to sack because of that quick release and also the good play of the offensive line and a nice sideline pattern. Woodson on the coverage as Duper made the catch at the first down marker. It is another first down. 11-yard pickup. One of the NFL's youngest offensive lines. They have tagged them the New Kids on the Block. Paul, that's a singing group, a contemporary group that is quite popular with young teenage girls.
Oh,
just wanted to
I'm glad you told me about that. They just forgot to tell these guys they're not supposed to be able to block in the rookie year, and they're doing it. They are doing a great job for this team.
Webb, Sims, Villanek, Galbraith, and Dennis. And Sammy Smith is driven back. Greg Lloyd, Aaron Jones combining to stack up Smith.
When you take a look at this offensive line, let's look to the left now. We got Sims and Webb. There they are. There's a double team right at the end of the line. Now the double team is on Kenny Davidson, number 64, and then Smith comes in, but it looks like he's a little bit late. Page goes in, doesn't really hit anybody, but this is what you talk about. Look at the black shirts. There's 6 black shirts there. They go to the football.
2nd and 8. Dolphins at the Pittsburgh 48. Time is running down in the first quarter. Marino almost intercepted by David Johnson. He was right on track, cutting in front of Mark Clayton.
I'm not taking anything away from Johnson because Johnson played the ball well, but Marino threw the ball where the ball could be intercepted. Look where the ball is. Clayton, instead of throwing the ball in front of him, he throws the ball behind Clayton. This was not a good pass. Here's the ball. You see it better here. Johnson just makes a great play on the ball. Almost picked off for a touchdown.
7th play of the drive. It's a 3rd down and 8. And Marino in trouble, and they get to him. Keith Willis with the sack. That is only the 2nd time this season that Dan Marino has been sacked.
And Keith Willis, I talked to him yesterday, Marv, and he said, I can get to him. It's going to be difficult, but I can get to him. And Willis, you're going to see him. He's going to come right up the middle. And here he is. Marino steps up. And Willis makes the sack. Great play by the defense.
For Keith Willis in his 8th year out of Northeastern, first sack of the season. Reggie Roby, who did not have a good day last week against the Giants, getting set to punt, but time has run out in this first quarter. After 1, Miami with a 7-0 lead.
I'm 80 years old, and I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Brave adults are coming forward to challenge the notion that Frosted Flakes is just a kid's cereal.
I eat them, I love them, and I don't care who knows.
With that extra crunch and milk, that frosting just right, they have a taste adults can love every bit as much as kids.
Go ahead, Shirley. You can do it.
I love them, thank you.
Oh, what more can you say? Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
Did you ever think you'd see the day when a car could actually call you if it's being stolen? With Tornado's Visual Information Center and mobile phone, next time it's 11 o'clock, you'll know where your car is.
This is a new generation of Olds.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Developing a fuel-efficient 4-cylinder engine is easy. Giving it the power of many V8s is hard. Oldsmobile offers you the revolutionary Quad 4, the best of both worlds.
This is a new generation of Olds.
The nightmare. The slaughter. This ain't no power. Next.
During the course of his 8-year career in the NFL, this is only the 7th time that the native of Pittsburgh, Dan Marino, who starred at the University of Pittsburgh, has faced his hometown club, the Steelers, and that's the first time a moment ago that the Steelers were able to sack him. Marino has not played well in the last 2 meetings against the Steelers, and these games have special meaning. A fake, and it worked to the tight end Edmonds. The fake punt. Farrell Edmonds surprising the Steelers. What's going on here with Don Shula?
They centered the ball directly back to Jensen. Not only does he block but catch passes, but he also throws passes. Watch Jensen. And see Edmonds, they're on the line of scrimmage. There's nobody covering him. They go to the inside, and the only guy back there, really, there's Johnson back there and also Woodson. But, man, what a play that was.
A 30-yard pickup. So Don Shula gambling earlier in the 4th and half yard. And now going to the chicanery. It's a first down at the Pittsburgh 21-yard line. Just underway in the second quarter. Sammy Smith picking his way.
Well, you know, Marv, some people might have forgotten the story about Jensen. Jensen came to the Miami Dolphins as a quarterback, and he knew he wasn't going to play. So he went to the coaching staff, and he said, put me on the special teams. So he was on every one of their special teams. He's also on the kickoff team, but he was a quarterback. Still is. I guess he's their disaster guy if they have to go to him.
He was an 11th round draft pick coming out of Boston University as a quarterback in 1981.
It's not a happy camper there.
Second down and 4 at the 15. Smith off the pitch. Could not make the turn. They closed it off. Thomas Everett leading the charge. He and Rod Woodson getting to Sammy Smith.
Thomas Everett, just a great fill. He comes up from a safety position. He sees the toss. Page is supposed to be out front blocking. And here comes Page, number 49. Now his job is he's got to cut back to the inside. All right, he gets a piece of his man, but look at 27, Everett. He is just there. Woodson's there. And Page didn't stay long enough with Lloyd.
Lost a couple. It's a third down and 6 back of the 17. Jim Jensen is back in the backfield now as the Dolphins go to their spread alignment. And Marino able to complete. Andre Brown with his first reception of the season picked up 10. Wayne Woodruff on the stop, and it sets up a 1st and goal for the Dolphins.
They just spread out the field on that play. They took Tony Martin on one side. Andre Brown comes into the outside, and Clayton goes to the right-hand side. And look at how open the field is here. When you spread out your receivers, you spread out the defense.
Now Clayton is wide to the left side. And it's Sammy Smith almost untouched. Right at the end of the play, someone got a hand on him.
Marv, he looked like when he hit the 5-yard line, he was just gliding. I mean, he knew he was in. The blocking was superb. Let's see what Page does this time. Here comes number 49 to the outside. Here's his block. Excellent block on the outside on Hinkle. In for the touchdown. That's 6.
So Sammy Smith, who last year as a rookie showed flashes of brilliance, he was affected by a long holdout, nagging injuries, had some fumbling problems too, but has opened up strong this year in his 2nd season in the NFL. Extra point by Stoyanovich, providing the Dolphins with a 14-0 lead. 3 minutes gone by in the 2nd quarter. Last November in Miami in a severe downpour, the Dolphins jumped out in front of the Steelers by the score of 14-0, but despite the heavy rain, Pittsburgh was able to come from behind. 34-14 victory, a game that helped turn around Pittsburgh's season. Merrill Hodge with a 3-touchdown performance. Miami fumbled 6 times, a franchise record. Pittsburgh had gone into that game at 5-6. Miami 7-4 contender at the time, and those two clubs went in opposite directions.
And Shula said we had them 14-0. The rains came, our weather, and we lost the game.
It's a 14-0 Dolphin lead right here. Short kickoff, and it's Rod Woodson on the return. Beautiful running by Woodson. And this crowd here at Three Rivers gets an opportunity to applaud the home team for the first time. Jarvis Williams ran him out. A 30-yard kickoff return.
But I said to Rod Woodson yesterday, are you going to return the ball again tomorrow? He said, you bet. He loves to return the ball. You noticed how he shifted the ball into his left arm to keep it away from the tacklers? Smart football. Kids, when you're watching things, when you're watching players like that, you move the ball away from the player and let him hit the arm and not the ball.
So Pittsburgh first down at the 42. And Brewster is sacked. That's the 2nd The second of the day by the Dolphins, number 14 on the season against Pittsburgh. Jarvis Williams, the strong safety on the blitz.
It's his arm. He landed on his arm. Jarvis Williams came in untouched. Number 26. Look at this. He goes up over the top. There was nobody to block him. Worley was back there. Now, I don't know if he was supposed to block him or not, number 38, but no one even picked him up. And they ran that safety blitz. That's a strong safety blitz.
It gets worse and worse for the Steelers. Apparently Brister is all right. That's the backup quarterback, Rick Strom. Nothing doing to this point offensively. Of course, the Steelers have hardly had the ball. The dump off incomplete, intended for Worley. John Offerdahl covering Tim Worley.
You know, there is a sign that answers it all, but you know, when you look at Brister, take a look. There's no one to throw the ball to. Green is in his face, but there really was no one to throw the football to, and he's mad at Green. Be careful, Bubby, because he's going to be in your face a little bit more today. But when you look downfield and there's nobody open, you get a sick feeling in your gut.
It is a third down and 18 back at the 34. Here they come again. And Brister way short of the first down, tackled at the 40, and he is very frustrated. J.B. Brown, the right corner, making the stop. Let's go to Bob Costas, NFL Live.
All right, down 3-0 against the Eagles. Indianapolis goes to work. Jack Trudeau, the backup quarterback for the injured Jeff George, flips it out to Albert Bentley. And watch what he does, weaving through tacklers. Look at the block out there by the tackle, number 71, who got all the way downfield. It's a 73-yard pass, catch, and run. And later, Trudeau hits Jesse Hester from 5 yards out. Indy leads 7-3.
All right, Bob, and the punt by Straczynski. Fair catch called for by Tony Martin. 39-yard punt. Miami gets the ball back. 10.5 to go in the first half.
No matter where you look, there's Mazda. We're introducing new products like the Miata, setting new sales records, winning the respect of the automotive press, and winning awards for both quality and customer satisfaction. But most important, we're making thousands of people feel just right.
I'm State Farm agent Jeff Libby. One of the most gratifying parts of my job is helping young parents, people who are just beginning to understand what life insurance is all about. Young couples don't need a sales talk. They just need to talk to someone who understands them and their life insurance needs. Now, I know what that promise of security means, and I don't believe there's a better promise a parent can make.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Is that all there is? It's kind of simple, isn't it? You sure all the good stuff hasn't sunk to the bottom? Well, where's the buried treasure? There's no mystery. Sip. This is just flakes. Mmm. I can actually taste the cereal. It doesn't need anything else. The naked truth. Now, I like that.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Corn Flakes?
Taste them again for the first time.
Along with the many problems of the Pittsburgh offense, they have had the ball only 5 minutes and 18 seconds. But, Paul, you get the idea. The players just don't believe in the schemes, the system of Joe Walton.
First of all, they're not sure of it yet. And again, we talked about the other three things. Terminology is one of them. But Marv, you know, when you talk to the players, you do have that feeling that they're not totally convinced that this offense is going to work.
Are they fighting it?
I think so. I think they really are. I think that one of the worst problems is they're not sure of it.
And as Sammy Smith, as Miami goes back to the offense, Greg Lloyd on the stop.
You know, Marv, a week ago we talked about Pittsburgh. We did them out in Los Angeles, and I made the statement, and one of the things in all the years that we've been associated with the National Football League, and coaches will tell you, players are really not paid to think, they're paid to react. But in order to react, you have to know who you're supposed to block. And I don't think they're really sure of it yet.
Well, what is the philosophy here? Does a coach stay with his system, or does he change it for the players?
Well, We'll get to it in a second, right after this play.
Second and 1, and Tony Page picks it up. David Little on the stop, along with Keith Willis. Is there a point where you say this is not going to work, or does Chuck Knoll say, hey, we got to make some changes, and you bench Brister, you bring on Rick Strum? That was the facetious indication a couple of weeks ago when Brister complained that it just won't work.
I think one of the things that you must do with this is simplify it as much as possible and only put a certain amount of plays in. And talking to Joe Walton yesterday, he said, we have it down to the basics now.
And here's Marino on first down. Tony Page on the reception. Short of the first down. Carnell Lake, the strong safety, making the stop. 6 minutes gone by. Second quarter, Miami with a 14-0 lead. A 7-yard run by Sammy Smith. And that long drive that went 8 minutes and 7 seconds, capped off by the 1-yard plunge. Still to come at halftime. Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, Will McDonough, NFL Live. They're the guys. They'll have all the scores and the highlights.
Yeah, but those updates by Bobby, he's live today. He's jumping out at you.
And it is Smith again. Yeah, Bob sounds happy today.
Yeah, I know.
Not that he hasn't been in the past, Paul. David Johnson on the stop.
We got a present we're going to give him later on, and I know he's going to love and enjoy.
Ball marked short of the first down. Miami Dolphins with a 14-0 lead, and looking at a 3rd and 1 at the 42. Miami comes in at 2-1. They won at New England 27-24. Won at Buffalo 30-7 in their home opener. Last week they were beaten by the Giants 20-3. Miami held to only 7 first downs, equaling a franchise low. Marino decides to talk it over. Timeout taken. We'll be back in a moment.
Listen to my nephew. He's going to be a lawyer like me. He's even going to look like me.
Oh, really? So does that mean on his first big trial day, the jury's going to notice his winning smile?
Yeah.
And his great suit.
Yeah.
Oh, his little flakes.
No, dandruff? Me?
Oh, it can happen to perfect people. Here, just use my shampoo.
Head and Shoulders. But you don't have dandruff.
I rest my case.
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
He stirs in the land of dawning. He stirs now in the age of wondering. Now on the trail of beauty, he stirs.
The new Navajo from Mazda.
It just feels right.
Buy 10 rolls of pink insulation, R13 or higher, to keep you warm indoors, and get a free NFL coach's sweater to keep you warm outdoors. Offer ends October 14th.
His toy has stopped.
What's wrong, Mom?
And he has started. You run to the junk drawer for a battery, but which ones are good? You'd know with the new copper top tester. It's absolutely free, only from Duracell.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
The lights are on here at Three Rivers Stadium on an overcast day, and it has been overcast indeed once again for that Pittsburgh offense. Miami with a 3rd down and 1, and penalty markers are thrown as Sammy Smith appears to be stopped short of the first down by the inside linebacker, Hardy Nickerson. This is the first penalty of the day.
And it's against Pittsburgh. Offside.
Defense, the middle of the line, 5 yards, first down.
You know it's bad when they can't pick out just one number.
A generic call by Jerry Austin.
Here they go. Take a look on the left. There's, whoops. They're in the neutral zone.
Yes. Miami first down at the 47-yard line. 7:35 remaining in the first half. Marv Albert along with Paul McGuire from Pittsburgh. The Dolphins have owned the football in this first half. Smith picking his way, running well. Sammy Smith in his second season out of Florida State, stopped by Thomas Everett. Smith says he's much quicker this season after dropping about 12 pounds in the offseason. He says he's cut out those extra trips to his favorite fast food outlets. That's what has turned it around.
Well, I just watched them on that last play, and they pulled, the Miami Dolphins, Webb, number 78, and Sims, number 69, the left-hand side of the line, and all Smith did was follow those guys, and he picked up 7 yards on the play.
And a nice start for Sammy Smith. 2nd down and 3 out of the 46. Clayton 83 in motion. Smith again battling for the first down, hit by Gerald Williams, the nose tackle.
You know, we talked about at the beginning about how good what Pittsburgh Steelers defense, second in the AFC. I mean, this is a solid, strong defensive football team. And, you know, the offense is on the field. They always say, well, the defense is on for a long period of time. Well, so is the other team's offense. I mean, their guys are running around, too. But if this defense starts to fold, this team is in a lot of trouble. I mean, they're in a lot of trouble now, but I'm talking about a world of heat.
Major.
Oh, no question.
8th play of the drive. It's a 3rd down and 1. And Smith leaning forward. Let's see if he picked it up. Again, Gerald Williams on the stop. Keith Willis also involved. And they are calling for the yardsticks. Well, next Sunday, the Pittsburgh Steelers are home for San Diego, and then 2 straight on the road. How about this schedule? At Denver, and then at San Francisco. So it does not get any prettier.
Most guys would say easier. They get pretty. I don't think they have it. No, they don't. But what will they do? They went for it on 4th down in the first quarter. In the second quarter, they threw from the punt formation, and now they're going to go for it again.
So,
well, when things are working, excuse me, Marv, but when things are working, why not? You know, they've had their way with the time of possession. They have 14 points on the board. The defense has done a great job so far.
And this is also an insult to the Pittsburgh defense.
Yes, it is.
It is a 4th down, less than a yard. Mark Logan is in the backfield for Miami. Logan battling his way, and it looks like he did pick it up. Mark Logan in his 4th year out of Kentucky, making it back from a knee injury. He was leading the league in kickoff returns last year until he injured the knee. It is all working for the Dolphins here in the first half. First down is collected.
You know, I talked to Bubby Brister yesterday, and you talk about a young man that's open, and I said to Bubby about the offense, no touchdowns. I mean, what does it feel like when you're coming off the field and you're looking at the defense, and these guys are out there busting their humps trying to get things done for you, getting you the ball back, and you guys can't perform? He said the first 3 games, he said, the guys are really close together. He said, but if it happens again today, he says, I don't know what we're going to do, and I don't know how we're going to face the defense.
Play action. Marino had the time. He dumped it off to Page. Parnell Lake, the strong safety, made the stop of Tony Page, the one-time New York Jet, one-time Detroit Lion.
Tony Page, I was going to say, runs close to the ground. Well, he ought to. He's only 5'10".
Yeah. That is so poor.
I know, but I thought I'd throw it in. I know she threw it out.
It'll be a 2nd down and 1. Four minutes to go in this first half. Smith finding the room and has the first down. Donald Evans, right defensive end in a 2nd year from Winston-Salem State, making the stop. And a penalty marker, this one against Miami.
First mistake they've made.
Holding, 85 offense, 10 yards, repeat 2nd down.
That is the wide receiver, Mark Duper. It has been a tremendous first half for the Miami offensive line. The new kids on the block have done it. Webb, Sims, Ulenek, Galbraith, and Dennis have been exceptional.
There's Page, number 49, with a great block he gets, and then Duper downfield really didn't have to throw the block. Was holding on top of it.
Sets it back to a 2nd down and 8 from the 40-yard line. 14-0. Dolphins lead the Steelers. Logan stopped by Nickerson. A look at the baseball pennant races. Toronto leading Boston 4-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Red Sox looking to sweep. A Boston win today would clinch a tie for the AL East. The magic number there is 3. And the Cubs leading the Mets 2-0 in the 1st. Later on, the Pirates play at the Cardinals. Magic number for the Pirates is down to 1 coming off yesterday's play. 3rd down and 5. Markers down, and it's broken up by Hinkle.
You know, here's the situation with Marino that I thought that Dan would even air it out because he knew that they caught Pittsburgh offside. Had it been against the offense, they would have stopped it right then. So it is against the defense offside. It's a free play.
Offside, number 97 defense, 5 yards, 1st down.
And the problem is where he threw the ball was not a 1st down anyway.
97 is Aaron Jones, Pittsburgh's #1 draft pick back in 1988 in his 3rd season out of Eastern Kentucky.
I don't think the people in Pittsburgh want to hear too much about the Super Bowl rings anymore, do you? I mean, they're just they'd like to see something happen. Right now, they'd like to see just the 1st down. I know they want to see a touchdown, but they want to see a 1st down anyway.
This is the 13th play of the drive, and Smith is bottled up. Sammy Smith hit by Greg Lloyd and nowhere to go.
Lloyd was on a blitz and he was flying, and he came into Sammy Smith. If it hit him head on, would have seen probably one of the greatest collisions this year. But he almost missed him.
Sets back to a 2nd down and 13 at the 35. Thomas Everett, we're told, re-injured himself, and they will check it out. Timeout called. We'll be right back. 35-yard pass play, and it gets worse for the Steelers. Miami with a brilliant 1st half, and they now lead it 20-0.
Clayton put a move on Johnson, just beats Johnson. Now I know that Johnson was running with him, so Carnell Lake, number 37, I don't know if he is supposed to be the safety that was deep, but it just looked too easy. I mean, Marino stepped up into the hole and just finds Clayton. I mean, it was wide open. Johnson never stayed with him. Clayton run an out move, and he went right up the field, and that ball was perfect.
Mark Clayton making it back from a pulled hamstring last year. 64 catches after Clayton his 1st touchdown of the season. Pete Stoyanovich extending to 21-0 as we hit the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes to go. 1st half. This week, Paul, Miami had the ball only 19 minutes and change against the Giants. They've already passed that by.
When you look at Pittsburgh with 5 minutes and 18 seconds, we're at the 2-minute warning, folks. So the most that Pittsburgh can get the ball in the 1st half would be 7 minutes and 18 seconds if they keep it the entire 2 minutes.
Another sustained drive by the Dolphins, who went 8:29. They lead at 21-0. Stoyanovich kicking to Woodson. Rod Woodson has been the only bright spot to this point for the Steelers. Runs it across the 15.
Now, you and I have talked about time of possession. It doesn't mean anything. It only means something what you do with the time. But when you don't have any time, you can't do anything with anything.
Well, for Pittsburgh, it's been a twin bill. They haven't had the time, and they haven't done anything when they've had any time.
And it's starting to get ugly here.
And this the worst field position of the day for the Steelers. Richard Bell, the rookie from Nebraska, now has checked into the backfield. It is Lips to the left. Bell and Hodge are the running backs. And here's Brister, and he is sacked. That's called in the grasp, under control. Third sack of the day. Jeff Cross gets credit for his third sack of the season.
I mean, you got to slow the guy down. Jeff Cross just blows by. I think it's got to be Blankenship, the left guard, or Damani Dawson. But I mean, watch this. Look at 91. It is. It's Blankenship. I mean, he just blows right by him. There's no place to go. You've got to slow him down. Here it comes here. Look at this. Here's Blankenship. I mean, that's the man that's lined up over top of you. You've got to block him.
2nd and 18, and Brister unloads one. A lot of contact. Let's see. No flag. Derek Hill in a battle with Jarvis Williams.
Jarvis Williams, what a great play he made. He knew that Hill could outrun him. So all he did is look back at the ball and move over in front of Hill, and Hill, looking back at the ball, trips over him. It's a solid play. Brister sees Hill going downfield. Jarvis Williams knows right here that he's beat. But watch what he does. He goes in front. Hill trips over him. Great play by the defense.
To demonstrate how bad it has been for the Steelers, they are averaging 3rd and 12 in 3rd down situations. And this one was almost picked off. It would have been 6 for Jarvis Williams. Dwight Stone, the intended receiver, and the Steelers' next first down will be their first.
The intended receiver was Jarvis Williams.
Yes.
I mean, he was the closest one to it. And Bubby is looking, and there's that sign again.
And Straczynski will punt from his end zone. It has been an embarrassing first half for the Steeler offense. Tony Martin with the fair catch at midfield. 39-yard punt, and Miami gets it back with 1:09 left in the half.
These stats, there are 3 2s in there, but Pittsburgh only happens to have one of them. Yeah. And it's on the bottom, that little 2 there. But watch this. Malarkey and Stone. 20 is Stone, Malarkey 84. Now look what happens. Number 26, frees it right there. Here's Jarvis Williams in the middle. He can cover both of these guys. I know they can't. Both supposed to be there. And then Malarkey drifts out. All Jarvis Williams did was look at the quarterback, read his eyes, and he was in position to intercept and run for a touchdown, but he missed the ball.
Offensive coordinator Joe Walton, 7 seasons, head coach of the Jets, and has had himself a nightmarish start with the Steelers. Stratford stopped by Hinkle, getting back to the ineptitude of the Pittsburgh offense. Out of 12 offensive plays, 7 have gone for negative yards to this point for the Steelers. Marino has it deflected, and it is incomplete. Jensen had a crack at it. Well, for those of you who missed the NFL Live pregame show, here are some of the headlines. Some interesting occurrences. First of all, Patriots owner Victor Kiam, a guest with Bob, Will, and OJ, said that he would make some management changes, possibly general manager Patrick Sullivan, in response to the handling of the Lisa Olson controversy. Lisa Olson, the Boston reporter in the midst of it all, said that a Patriot team official knows which players surrounded her in the team locker room. And it is coming up at halftime. Bob Costas, Will McDonough, O.J. Simpson, all the scores and highlights. And that is deflected, and it is intercepted. So the Steelers able to pick off Marino. Aaron Jones able to play that deflection and come up with it.
Rod Woodson is the guy that first hits the ball, and I think he was surprised. Marino is just trying to dump it off. The number 26 is Rod Woodson. Now here comes the ball. Hits him in the hand. Pops out of Lake's hand. And then there's the interception. Now that's a tricky play. That'll be on their highlight, because it's about the only thing they've done right all day. Woodson, Lake, and Jones.
Little volleyball effect.
Put a net up.
And Pittsburgh has its best field position of the day, but Brister in trouble. And the ruling is complete. He caught it inbounds, had possession. Lewis Lips with a 9-yard pickup. Strange things happening here for the Steelers.
and the place goes crazy.
Only 28 seconds left in the half. Steelers still have not picked up a first down in this first half.
See, that's what they thought. They thought the Steelers had a first down. They fooled them. Oh, they're going to look at it to see if he made the catch in bounds. Here it is. And a familiar figure, Bubby running for his life. Here comes Lips back. That's a great catch. There's nothing wrong with that. Now they're looking where they should mark the ball. I would mark the ball back at the 46-yard line where he goes out of bounds.
And the play does stand. The replay official from the NFL, George Slatke. And that is the first time they have reviewed a play here today.
Well, they can't run the ball. We know that because it doesn't. There's only 28 seconds. They do have 3 timeouts.
You know, George and Pete Abatanti of the NFL told me as Hodge plays the swing, gets inside the 40, and the clock is running. 8-yard advance, and now timeout is taken. The replay guys told me they lock the door when you're in town. They don't want to take any chances. They really fear that one day you will enter the replay booth while the game is on.
But, you know, if you're wrong, you're wrong. I mean, there's 2 things that I don't like, and that's inconclusive and the whistle blew. I mean, if you're going to make a replay call, make it. Have the guts to make it.
And Bubby Brister talking it over with the offensive coordinator, Joe Walton. Down to 18 seconds remaining. In this first half, the Dolphins with a 21-0 lead on the Steelers. From left to right, Will McDonough, Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson. And they are just ahead, NFL Live at halftime.
And in the second half, I guess in the second half, I'll give him his present. Little Bobby.
Pittsburgh Steelers coming in at 1-2, lost at Cleveland 13-3, beat Houston here at 3 Rivers 20-9. They had a good one against Warren Moon, sacking him 4 times, lost to the Raiders in LA last week. Here's Hodge, hit down at the 30, short of the first down. Jarvis Williams making the stop, and this the first time the Steelers have shown any signs of an offense, but we're down to 10 seconds remaining in the half and a timeout taken.
But you're also in a situation where the Miami Dolphins are in a part of a prevent defense, and we talked to Oliver Dottie yesterday about it. He said, we'll give you all the short stuff. They up 21 points. 3 can't bother them that much. So they're just, they'll give you all the short stuff. The last 2 pass completions were to Hodge. One was on a screen, and one was another 8-yard pattern down the field. They need touchdowns, not field goals.
And there is Tom Olivadotti, the Miami Dolphin defensive coordinator. He told us last night, despite the success of the Miami defense, he said, I can't say that strategically we've done a lot of different things. He says they've basically played hard, solid defense, and the crowd reacting because the Steelers will go for the points, going for the field goal. What do you think? What do you think?
What do I think? They want to put some points on the board, but remember, they have not scored a touchdown in 14 quarters of this regular season.
46-yard attempt for Anderson. Oh, he put it through. He just did get it over the crossbar. Gary Anderson now 5 for 6 on the season. Last week against the Raiders hit his only attempt from 31, and so Pittsburgh does get on the board with 5 seconds to go in the half.
I know he has a stronger leg than that, Gary Anderson. It looked like the ball might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage because it took an awful long time to just clear the bar. And we watched Gary Anderson when he warms up. I mean, he can hit the ball 60 yards. Let's just look in the middle and see if it is tipped, if we can see it here. No, he just thumped it. He got it up, but he didn't hit it all, but he hit it enough to get 3.
Gary Anderson is the 3rd in NFL history in field goal accuracy, succeeding at a 77% rate. Nick Lowry and Morton Anderson are the leaders, and he is continuing along that pace this season.
Well, even if the Pittsburgh Steelers do not score another point, the rest of the season, Gary Anderson will be their leading scorer, even if he doesn't score anymore.
Very fine point, Paul. Here is Anderson putting it on the ground. It is Troy Stratford on the return out to the 25-yard line as time has run out. And the crowd at Three Rivers reacts to the Steeler offense in this first half. There was a penalty that was declined, an offside penalty, and this half is officially over. The Miami Dolphins with a strong first half. They lead the Pittsburgh Steelers by the score of 21-3. Now let's go to NFL Live. Here's Bob Costas.
Bob Costas back in New York will be joined shortly by Will McDonough, but right now we want to get more on the situation involving the New England Patriots. If you were with us on the pregame show, you saw Patriot owner Victor Kiam reiterate his apologies to Boston Herald reporter Lisa Olson, who says she was sexually harassed by several Patriots in the locker room a couple of weeks ago. Now, Kiam not only apologized, but he said that there would be organizational changes. When I asked him directly whether that meant that GM Pat Sullivan's job was in jeopardy, he sidestepped the issue. We're going to go up to Foxborough right now. Bob Lobel works for our NBC station in Boston, WBZ. Can you give us a bit more, Bob?
Well, Bob Costas, Victor Kiam continues to act like Victor the Dancing Bear. He is Victor the Dancing Owner at the moment. He does sidestep the question when you asked him directly, have you fired General Manager Patrick Sullivan? He says, I'm going to meet with Patrick Sullivan. I'm going to talk with the commissioner. I have a number of options. I have some decisions to make. But we feel basically that the least that'll happen is that Patrick Sullivan will be suspended. Maybe Kiam wants to make it so uncomfortable for him that Pat himself may quit. Be that as it may, Patrick Sullivan is being held accountable for this, and Victor Kiam is publicly flogging him to the press, saying that had he known about this immediately, he never would have put his foot in his mouth. Well, be that as it may, most people feel the way Patrick Sullivan handled this, although it was handled badly, he was trying to protect Victor Kiam from Victor Kiam, who in the end did throw gasoline on a fire that exploded and engulfed everybody.
Yeah, in a nutshell, Kiam is saying that he didn't realize the severity of the situation. Consequently, he trivialized it, made statements he shouldn't have, and he's holding his messengers responsible.
Well, it sounds like a public relations concoction. You have the aggrieved party, Lisa Olson, apologize to her. You have your players come forward and give their accountability and their responsibility, the other ones in the incident, and you yourself fire the people in public. It sounds like a classic political campaign strategy.
The Boston Herald and some other groups have called for a fan boycott of today's game between the Patriots and Jets. Is that having any impact?
I doubt it, Bob. Most people are here to see a football game. They're not interested in social issues. And you'll get a reaction at halftime when Victor Kiam comes out for the John Hannah Day festivities. They'll be retiring his number, long overdue, I might add. But I think their reaction to Victor Kiam may reflect directly on the performance of their team in the first half. If they're getting blown out by the Jets, Kiam will get booed. If they're beating the Jets, he'll still get booed, but not by that much.
Bob, thanks very much. Bob Lobel of WBZ in Boston. Let's assume he sincerely is sorry that there was misconduct on the part of his players. But there's also a threatened boycott of Remington products. He owns that company. With the Christmas season coming up, and some women's groups are saying, hey, you can't throw your money in this man's direction after the situation he's been involved in. So he wants to clear the air on that, too.
Well, sure he does, because I was talking to Victor the other day, and he told me that like 100% of his business at Remington is done between October 1st and through the Christmas season. So if the boycott was really effective, he would stand to lose millions and millions of dollars. But Bob, here's what surprises me. I know, because Kiam told me this week, that Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner, told him, Victor, calm down. We're going to handle it our way. I will appoint a special counsel. Incidentally, that special counsel is going to come from the Harvard Law School faculty and be announced in the next few days. And we will set up a situation where everybody can be brought in. We'll hear the side of everybody's story, but we'll let it calm down, and we'll do it in the right way. And that hasn't happened. If anything, the thing exploded today on the show.
You got to assume that the folks at the public relations firm, Howard Rubenstein's company in New York City, told him, you can't wait that long. You've got to squelch this because of the ramifications beyond football, the economic ramifications. You got to make a move right now to disassociate yourself from this.
But that's pure speculation between you and me right now.
Absolutely.
But the irony here is I spoke to Pat Sullivan for about 30 minutes on the phone Friday night, and he said to me in part of his comments that Zeke Mowat was the fall guy. Now the irony again is that Pat Sullivan looks like he can be the fall guy.
There's no question that Mowat did what she alleges he did. The other players back that
Bob,
up.
Don't say that. You can't say that. We have to wait until you hear what the...
But appear to be on the right track.
And the other thing that Don told us last night, Marv, when he said, look at last week's game against the Giants. Throw that away. Forget that. That's one game in a 16-game schedule. Let's forget about that one and let's get on with our football team. And obviously in the first half they did that.
It appears that the Giants are on another level.
That's a great line.
And the return by Mark Higgs. Mark Higgs, a three-year man from Kentucky, was met by Jerry Olszewski and met square by Olszewski, who sat out last week bothered by tonsillitis. He was inactive, back in action today. So Miami first down from its 22-yard line.
Marv and Keith Sims did not come back in the game, and it looked like his knee, and Roy Foster, number 61, will play that left guard position.
Sprained knee, we're told. Sims sitting it out. Foster, a 9-year pro out of University of Southern Cal, played well as a starter last year. Here's Smith trying to cut back inside, stopped at the line by the combination of Carnell Lake and Donald Evans.
Carnell Lake, remember, is a safety. He is the strong safety. The Miami Dolphins pulled the left side of their offensive line, and number 37, Carnell Lake, fills right here. Look at this. That's the safety up front. Evans is also there, number 66, but Lake is the man that really made the play.
He had a strong game last year in Miami. Lake recovering a fumble. Also had that big hit on Marino. Marino forced to leave because of a shoulder problem. A completion to Page out of the 28-yard line, and again it's Lake on the stop.
That time Marino just stepped up and he found Page open 6 or 7 yards downfield, but Lake again is there. Remember, he made a tackle on the left-hand side of the field. Now you'll see him on this is to be the left-hand side, but actually the right-hand side of the defense. Here he is now making another play along with Rod Woodson, number 26.
Fifth catch of the day for Tony Page.
You know, when you look at it now Page is actually supposed to be covered by the linebacker also on the inside, who is David Little, number 50. Carnell Lake, as soon as he saw it, made the play.
Third down and 4. And Marino dumps it, has the first down. Clayton gets some more out across the 45. Free safety Larry Griffin on the stop. 18-yard advance, but a penalty marker is down, and this may go back.
Holding, 62 offense, 10 yards. Repeat, third down.
That's the right guard, Harry Galbraith, called for the hold.
He's on right-hand side of your screen, number 62. You see Galbraith there. He's on Willis. When you get your hands on the outside of the pads, now here's the hold. His right arm is grabbing. Good call by the official. But there's no way that Dwayne Woodworth can stay with Clayton when Marino has that much time to throw the football.
Very few penalties have been called today, and Miami right on the bottom in terms of having penalties called. Both their calls have been holding. That was a problem earlier in the season. It's a third down, 14. And the dump off for Stratford. Short of the first down, Gerald Williams right there, and so the Pittsburgh defense able to hold off the Dolphins.
This is that shovel pass, and what happens is that the Miami Dolphins, Reno reads that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in an overshift. You can see the line overshifted to the right. And then here's the secondary. They're going downfield, and their backs are turned, except Carnell Lake is also there. And Williams, number 98, is the guy that makes the play.
Reggie Roby with his first punt, his first attempt, ended up as a fake and a successful pass from Jensen to Edmonds. A line drive handled by Woodson. And Woodson gets to midfield. So Reggie Roby, who did not have a good day against the Giants, last week, unleashing only a 36-yard punt, a 12-yard return. And Bubby Brister back on with his offense, and they're hearing it from this capacity crowd. Pittsburgh will start out from midfield. Toronto leading Boston 4-2, top of the fourth. Cubs over the Mets in the third. Pirates and Cardinals, no score in the first. Magic number for the Pirates is 1. The Mets must win today while the Pirates lose. Then all the Mets have to do, Paul, is sweep the Pirates at Three Rivers and then win a playoff game here in Pittsburgh. Merrill Hodge on the fumble. And it is recovered. Let's see. Recovered by Hodge.
Hodge is running to his right, and just Jarvis Williams just gets in and just puts his arm and slaps the ball away. When you're looking at it, again, here's the ball being slapped away, but Hodges really didn't put the ball in. Concentration level is not there.
2nd down and 9. Hodge. Hodge broke a tackle. And that's the best run of the day for the Steelers. 1st down for Merrill Hodge. Cliff Odom on the stop. Hodge went for 12, and that's the Merrill Hodge that we saw in spots last week against the Raiders and throughout the second half of last season.
And that's the best looking trap play we've seen. Take a look at it. Worley is in, and he gets a good block on Offerdahl, and Offerdahl, number 56, is the man that misses the tackle. And you don't see that very often. But Hodge is a powerful runner.
Pittsburgh 1st down at the Miami 37. Dolphins 21, Steelers 3, 4 minutes in, 3rd quarter. Here's Hodge trying the other side, and he was slowed up by Offerdahl. Hodge stopped inside the 35 by Oliver.
Boy, Offerdahl made a great play to get back to the outside because he was getting blocked at the time and just got out and got his arm on Hodge. Offerdahl is being blocked. Then he gets right here. That's long, number 74. And look what Offerdahl does. Gets back out to get a piece of Hodge to slow him down.
John Offerdahl, always attacking, goes all out every snap. Last year selected as a Pro Bowl starter despite missing 7 games because of the holdout. Off the play action, Brister able to complete to Stone. He had to come back to make the diving catch, and Pittsburgh with a 1st down, 11-yard pass play.
Stone's going to come all the way across the field and then go back. J.B. Brown is trying to stay with him, but Malarkey picks off J.B. Brown. Now, Offerdahl is supposed to pick him up here, but Stone, you talk about getting your hands underneath the ball. What a super catch.
For the Steelers, their deepest penetration of the day. It is a 1st down at the 24.
It tells you why they haven't scored a touchdown.
And Brister throwing, intended for Lips.
He got holding on Hodge. Hugh Green was in the backfield, and he would have had Brister. If there's such a thing as a good hold, this is it, because you might have been picking Brister up off the turf again. Hugh Green just gets through. He's in on a conversation too. See, Hugh Green, if you're the one that's being held, you're allowed to stand in there with the officials. That's the only time. It's not a league rule, but it helps. See, Hugh wants to make sure. Look at, Hugh, but excuse me. Hugh, yeah, see, it was me. I'd like to have you say 33 holding 55, if you would.
Referee Jerry Austin and the umpire, number 67, John Keck, continuing the long discussion.
All right, here it is on the outside. Now, there goes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Hodge, you happen to be there, but that's Long, Terry Long, number 74, that not only held him, but grabbed his face mask.
Illegal use of hand, grasping of the face mask, 5 yards, 1st down.
Wait a minute, whoa. They called it against Green?
That's why Hugh was particularly interested.
Wasn't that his face mask that we saw? To the right of your screen on the top, look at 74 long, his right hand. Is that on the face mask or not? What is that? Whoops. Hold on. Make a mistake here?
Actually, Green got him first.
Oh, I see.
And it's a first down at the 19. Here's Brister throwing for Lips. Broken up. J.B. Brown on the coverage of Lewis Lips.
J.B. Brown plays this so beautifully because he knows he's got help to the inside. Now he can make a move on the ball. When you look to the inside, you see 25 Lewis Oliver, and he knows he has help in there. So he plays to the outside first, and when Lips finally makes his last cut, then he can react.
7th play of the drive. It is a 2nd and 10 at the 19. 9:20 to go in the 3rd. Here's Hodge. He's to the 18, a short pickup met by the outside linebacker, Hugh Green. It will be a 3rd down play. Don Shula in his 28th season as an NFL head coach, 21st with the Dolphins. He has appeared in more Super Bowls than any other coach. 6 in all, winning 2, and of course that man with 4 Super Bowl victories. 2 of the winningest coaches in NFL history. Richard Bell has checked into the backfield. Brister in trouble, just dumps it.
That's intentional grounding.
No flag. Hugh Green was on the scene, and Brister able to throw it away.
Well, what they're saying is that Richard Bell was in the vicinity. I guess if you're on the field, you're in the vicinity, because Bubby is rushed. Bell, number 21, is the only guy that's even going to be close. But watch where Bubby throws the ball. You'll see Bell. No, you won't see Bell. I said in the vicinity. Whoa.
And here's a 35-yard attempt for Anderson, who earlier hit from 46. So Gary Anderson rolls right on. He is now 6 for 7 on the season. Dolphins lead 21-6.
The Toyota versus the Isuzu standard pickup.
By the score of 21-6, and Mark Higgs will stay in the end zone, so they'll bring it back out. Dan Marino will start out from his 20-yard line. Let's check out the Hertz 10-minute ticker. It is Denver in front of Buffalo now 14-3 in the 3rd. Giants with a 17-10 lead. Giants won in Dallas a couple of weeks back, 28-7 at the half. Detroit leading Green Bay. Ron Meyer had an interesting statement the other day with Indianapolis trailing Philadelphia 17-10. He said, we're not shooting ourselves in the foot, we're actually amputating both legs. Off the roll, here's Marino. Tony Page, it can be said, was in the vicinity.
Yeah, that was about all. They had the whole team. Marino ran a bootleg play, and everybody had to come from the other side of the field to get over there, and the defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they had the whole field covered. There was just no place to go with the ball, so Marino actually threw it in the dirt.
2nd down and 10 from the 20. Dolphins with a 21-6 lead on the Steelers. Smith. And the Pittsburgh defense has certainly picked it up here in the 2nd half. Woodson and Lake not allowing Smith to unravel.
And you just get the feeling that the Miami Dolphins are getting a little bit too conservative. I mean, to expect Marino to throw on 3rd down. I know on that 1st down play it was a bootleg, it didn't work, and then go back to that toss. The Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting in there waiting. And here it is. Smith is going to end up going to the right. Now what? There's no hole there. So now he starts to, Evans is there, 66. He works his way back. And there's Lake, Woodson, and Little. And friends.
Steelers have the 5 defensive backs with 3rd down and 10. It's Tony Martin on the reception, and he has a 1st down. He picked up 15. The Dolphins feel that Tony Martin could be a starter a year from now. He is an exciting player. Marino, though, shaken up, is walking it off. Tony Martin spent most of last year on the Miami developmental squad. He's a converted quarterback. He was drafted by the Jets as a quarterback. There he is, out of Mesa in Colorado, number 89.
A.J. Jenkins, I think, number 99. He's going to come from the backside and just, I mean, that's a late hit. Come on. Marino's looking, and he knows he got hit late.
83 Clayton in motion. It is Logan. And Logan has a first down. David Johnson able to track him down. A 17-yard run for Mark Logan.
And again, you know, the defense can only hold up so long. And on that last drive, the Pittsburgh Steelers had the ball for 8 plays, but they only had the ball for only 3 minutes and 30-some seconds in the play. And here comes the Miami Dolphins again with ball control. A couple of runs don't work, and I'm sitting up here saying they get conservative. They don't. I mean, this is their game plan, and they're sticking to it. They know that the place that can run. That play there that Logan ran was the same one that Smith was supposed to run, but the hole was blocked up.
And earlier, Don Shula did go to some trick plays that did work. Logan again. This will bring up a second down. Mark Logan, Plan B pickup from Cincinnati a year ago. Tonight, kick off the evening right here on NBC with the funniest and hottest new show of the season, Hull High. And also, Paul, make sure you have your McMillions game card from McDonald's, because if your numbers are revealed during Hull High, you could win at least, it says, $1 million. It's tonight on NBC.
I can use it to get out of this parking lot.
Second down and 4, and Logan is stopped. David Little, the inside linebacker, making the tackle. David Little is the younger brother of former Dolphins All-Pro guard Larry Little. And be sure to stay with us for more NFL action as we will present game 2 of our doubleheader. Most of you will see Marty Schottenheimer, the one-time coach of the Cleveland Browns, go up against his former team, Bud Carson of the Browns, playing Kansas City. Houston against San Diego. Jets in New England. That'll follow. We suggest you check your local listings for the game in your area. Third down and 4, and Marino incomplete. Woodson on the coverage of Duper.
Duper got one hand on the ball. Woodson was there, but Duper actually had him beat. The ball was thrown just a little bit too far to the outside. Marino talked to Duper. Get there quicker.
Here's Roby back at his 45. And Woodson dropping back to the 10. Last week, the Raiders were able to keep the ball away from Rod Woodson most of the afternoon. And another poor kick by Roby. He's been struggling.
Yeah, he kept it away from Woodson.
Yes, he did. It is that right? A 15-yard punt by Roby. 4:35 left in the third.
When David and Lisa Edmondson needed life insurance, they came to see me. I'm Kent Spearman, their State Farm agent. I help the Edmondsons put together a life insurance plan that works for them and their budget. And I stay in touch as their needs grow and change, because that plan has to work for their children, Rachel and Travis, too. If you want life insurance that works for you, get an agent who works for you. Get yourself a State Farm agent.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Actually equal their entire first half offense on their last drive, as they did pick up 27 yards. It concluded with a 35-yard field goal by Anderson. They start out at the 26, and Tim Worley is having another long afternoon. Last week, 3 carries, 8 yards. And for Worley, that is only his 3rd carry, and he has picked up only 6 yards for the day.
You know, he's been verbal about a lot of things, and now he's in the silent mode. But the thing about Worley is, I mean, he is an excellent running back. And when a hole is not there, it's difficult to be able to run. You got to block somebody.
Came on strong at the end of last season. Earlier in the year, he had fumble problems. but came up big at the end of the year. Here's Brister with some time, and it is dropped. Worley should have had it. He was covered by the inside linebacker, Cliff Odom.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with that pass pattern. Bobby Brister hit him right in the hands with the ball, and Offerdahl was in front. He just drops the ball. Brister goes back. They run a play action to Hodge. The blocking is there. He has time to throw. Now he finds Worley. Look at this. Look where this ball's right in his hands. And when you can get two hands on a ball, you should be able to catch it.
Tim Worley in his second year out of the University of Georgia. Steelers' #1 pick last season. Brister now 5 for 12. So
ball start, number 63, 5 yards. Still third down.
Now we talked about three things. Terminology has been changed. The Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. Cadence has been changed. Audibles have been changed. And here's the center who has to know the play. Look at Damani Dawson. I mean, he almost fell down.
It'll be a third down and 13. 3:40 remaining in the third quarter. Brister stepping up to unload and throws one that is picked off. It is intercepted by Tim McKyer. The pass intended for Derek Hill. Tim McKyer with his first interception as a Miami Dolphin, acquired from San Francisco for a couple of draft picks. So the Dolphins get it back. Picked it off, Tim McKyer. One who has not been shy in assessing himself. He's called himself the Michael Jordan of cornerbacks. He says he's on a whole different level than other cornerbacks around the NFL. Tony Page on the carry, stopped by Little and Nickerson. Let's take a look at that pass thrown by Brister.
McKyer is covering both guys. There's Stone and Hill down there. Look at McKyer. Both receivers again. We showed you one other play in the first half where the receivers are all together. Here's McKyer making a play. But here's what happens to a quarterback after you throw. Kumaro number 90, and watch E.J. Jr. number 54 right there. Watch the shot he gives him right in the back with a forearm. You pay the price. It's contact sport.
That was a sensational interception by McKyer.
Yes, it was.
Second down and 9. Miami from its 23. They lead Pittsburgh 21-6 for late third. Page out to the 29. Nickerson on the cover-up. Penalty marker is down. And it's against Pittsburgh.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 64, the defense, 15 yards.
Well, that is the rookie out of LSU, Kenny Davidson. Second-round draft pick who has played well, and he's called for the personal foul.
Kenny Davidson, and it's going to be in a late hit. And Marino, could have had one a little earlier. But we just after he throws the ball, you've got to be able to pull yourself up and stop. And here's Marino throwing the ball here. Now watch, 1, 2, 3, and then get hit. Now, wait a minute. Here's the situation. Kenny Davidson is trying to hold him up. He's not trying to hit him.
But it is a first down at the 44. Logan off the handoff. Larry Griffin up from the free safety position to make the stop. And we're set for another update. Let's go to Bob, NFL Live.
Marv, here's Buffalo's first TD of the day. Watch how it develops. Don Smith takes a direct snap as Kelly backpedals to confuse the defense, and he goes 12 yards right up the middle. They missed the extra point, however, and they still trail at home to Denver, 14-9. Marv?
All right, Bob, back here at Three Rivers Stadium, 1:40 left in the third quarter. And Miami leading Pittsburgh 21-6. The Pittsburgh offense still has not scored a touchdown this season. Logan has stopped. Aaron Jones and Brian Hickle making the stop. Let's check out that Hertz 10-minute ticker. Denver with the lead over Buffalo, 14-9. You saw the play a moment ago. Don Smith on the 12-yard run. Giants 17-10 over Dallas. Detroit leading Green Bay Philadelphia with a 17-10 advantage over the Indianapolis Colts. And now another field goal by Steve Christie to give Tampa Bay a 13-3 lead on Minnesota. Minnesota has won 9 straight at home. Buccaneers with the lead. 3rd down and 3. And again, the Steeler defense able to stop the Dolphins. That's been the case here in the 3rd quarter. Jim Jensen was hit by Brian Hinkle.
You know, this second half, and we found it, you know, we have no word that he's hurt, but Sammy Smith has not been in the game. Here it is, the play here, and Hinkle, number 53, just moves into the hole, and a missed block by Richard Webb, number 78, who was supposed to come across and hit Hinkle, misses him. If he hits him, they have the 1st down.
Reggie Roby had himself an adventure with that 15-yard punt in his last attempt. And this time gets off a good one, but it carries too far. Got it over Woodson's head, but to the end zone. It will go down as a 48-yard punt. Pittsburgh will put it in play at their 20.
To Triomphe, live next Sunday on NBC.
You know, Marv, I asked you about Sammy Smith, and the word that we have is it's a coaching decision. He's not hurt. 2 touchdowns, 48 yards. And we've seen Logan this whole 3rd quarter. They're resting him so he doesn't get hurt.
Logan's played well, as has Jensen. Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. So we'll pick it up at the start of the 4th. And Pittsburgh will be 1st down from their 20. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, catch up with Ho High. It's hot. It's TV's coolest scoop.
Examples for the whole country.
An all-new episode of Ho High on NBC tonight.
60 degrees and cloudy, turning cooler tonight with rain. More later on your 24-hour news source.
Need a plumber? You'll find more ads in the Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. But what good is a book full of plumbers when you just need one? Who works at night? Who takes credit cards? Who can come right now? Odds are you'll find the best choice in the book that gives you the most choice. The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. The Bella Atlantic Company. Say you needed a room for the night where they take credit cards.
Working on a cold eye, going down, working on a cold eye. How about another round? 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm already home and gone. An Iron Man is always working. We work hard at having fun. Man, it's rough. Come on over, baby. Whole lot of shaking.
Over the past 5 years, more people switched to Glidden than any other paint. Now, if that isn't the ultimate test of quality, we don't know what is. Glidden, a better way to paint.
And right now, quality Glidden paints are yours at terrific savings during our NFL Super Sale. So hurry down to your nearest Glidden dealer and pick up America's favorite paint at NFL Super Savings.
Glidden, a better way to paint.
Crowd of better than 54,000 at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh as we open up the 4th quarter. It is 1st and 10. Pittsburgh from their 20. Dolphins 21 and the Steelers 6. Tim Worley on the slant to the right with a 4-yard advance. Cliff Odom, John Offerdahl on the stop. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire. Incredible the awe-inspiring reaction that Paul attracts wherever we go around the country. Last night at the hotel, we ran into a bunch of football fans. They stopped in their tracks when they saw Paul, and they said, "Bob, that's Bob Trumpy. We love your work." It's amazing how these fans react to you, Paul.
I love him. I love him. Don't get the name right. They usually call me Al.
It is 2nd down and 6. Here's Hodge, short of the 1st down. And you hear the reaction from the crowd. Pittsburgh showing some signs in the 3rd quarter, although all they have to show for it are a couple of Gary Anderson field goals.
Well, 4 first downs. Well, see, the yardage is getting better now. They got 56.
Yeah.
And again, you know, we talked about it right up front. They're only averaging 180 yards in total offense a game, and They're the only team in the National Football League under 200 yards. It's hard to score.
3rd down and 4 from the 26. Stone in motion. And Brister with some time. As the first down, Lips broke a tackle. Beautiful running by Lewis Lips. Hugh Green finally put him down.
Isn't it amazing when you have time to throw the football? And that time, Bubby Brister had all the time he wanted to throw the football. And finally, Lewis Lips gets open. Here comes Lips, downfield, being covered by J.B. Brown. And the coverage there is very good. Now, here's the catch. Brown's first job is to make the tackle. He does not do that. Another missed tackle there. There's Lewis Oliver. Offerdahl misses the tackle. And finally, Hugh Green, number 55, stops Lewis. And that was, they weren't booing. They're saying, Lou.
26-yard pass play. 3rd catch for Lips. Brister now 6 for 14, only 70 yards. And a first down at the Miami 47. Again with the time. Overthrows the tight end, Malarkey, and it is picked off.
McKier's second.
So Tim McKier has done it again, and he returns it 20 yards.
And Tunch Ilkin laid him out. Malarkey was open.
Malarkey, coming off the big day against the Raiders last week, was overthrown. We'll be right back.
A full line of award-winning automobiles. See them all at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer. By Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars. And by Everready, 100 years of meeting your power and safety needs.
Well, Tim McKier shaken up just a moment ago after picking off a Bubby Brister pass for the second time this second half. And it's Mark Logan on the carry. Here's another look at that pass thrown by Brister.
First of all, in this pass play, is Brister is throwing the ball back across the field. Watch, he'll run to his left. Now he's going to throw back. He overthrows Malarkey. Here it is. Now McKier, that's not his man. Heads up football. But watch Ilkins. Watch 62. Watch this hit. Flying through the air. That's called a hip pointer. And that happens, you point your left hip to your right hip when they touch.
And Marino incomplete intended for Farrell Edmonds. Edmonds, one of 4 Dolphin players to arrive here late last night, independent of the team's charter plane. Edmonds, Sammy Smith, Jarvis Williams, and Harry Galbraith driving to the airport yesterday to make the charter. Got caught in a huge traffic backup on I-95 in Miami. They held the plane for a half hour, but the players didn't make it. They arrived late last night. Also, defensive end T.J. Turner arrived late. He was in Houston for the funeral of his mother and did not start today. Marino completing at the first down marker, but good play by Dwayne Woodruff to keep Clayton away, and we'll have to see where they spot it. It will be short of a first down.
Here's another exciting spot. Even Marino's over talking to him because he caught the ball almost at the first down marker.
87 yards, 4th down and 2.
On the outside, Clayton, number 83, Woodruff is 49. Now watch where he catches this ball, right there at the marker. Now watch where they mark the ball. Woodruff brings him back.
And that leads to the punting unit. And Roby with another good one. So he straightened himself out, a 40-yard punt. And the fair catch by Woodson. 11:09 remaining in this fourth. The Steelers start out from their 9. Lips to the left, Hill to the right. Dolphins 21, Steelers 6. And Brister completes to Malarkey. Oh, he took a hard pop from Hugh Green. Mike Malarkey, in his 8th year out of the University of Florida, had a career-high 7 receptions last week against the Raiders. That his first catch of the day, and he paid for it.
You want to see a collision? Watch this. Hugh Green just drills him. 2 steps, bang. And look at where Malarkey ends up. 3 yards back the other way. That's solid.
Wow. 2nd down and 4 at the 15. 10.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the play blown dead.
Before the snap, false start, number 60, second down.
Brian Blankenship.
Blankenship replacing John Rienstra at the starting left guard position. A difficult week for John Rienstra. Has had a knee problem. His father has been seriously ill. He is one of the inactives, along with backup quarterback Neil O'Donnell. And Blankenship, who is a versatile lineman, can play center, both guard positions, is the starter at left guard. Second down and 9. And Brister had to get it away in a hurry. Incomplete. Intended for Merrill Hodge. We're set for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas and NFL Live.
Marvin, Buffalo, the Broncos are doing it on the ground. Here's Sammy Winder scoring from the 3. All 3 of their touchdowns have been rushing touchdowns. Elway's thrown it only 15 times, completing 8 for 125 yards. Meanwhile, Bobby Humphrey has rushed for better than 140 yards himself, and he has a touchdown. 21-9 Broncos.
All right, Bob, as you see, 10 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter here in Pittsburgh. And Bubby Brister looking at a third down and 9. And it is picked off, intercepted. Eric Kumaro on the interception, and Miami will have first and goal.
Well, I don't know if Kumaro is the guy that hit the ball. It might have been Cross that hit it. Shows some great hands here. Here it comes. And Bubby's going to step up. It looks like he's got fast feet here anyway, and he steps up and he throws, and the ball is tipped right at the line of scrimmage by number 29, Lifford Hobley. Kumaro catches it. That's a great play. Hobley's the man that knocked it down.
And Tunch Ilkin shaken up. And this crowd beginning to file out. That is the third time that Brister has been intercepted. Eric Kumaro, 3-year man from Ohio State, an outside linebacker, picking it up off the deflection. It is a first and goal at the 5. Tony Page.
Oh, man, what a run.
Terrific second effort. Refused to go down. Hardy Nickerson finally stopped him just short of the goal line.
Tony Page with a continuous effort right into the line of scrimmage. You take a look at the left-hand side of that line. That's Webb and Foster that's over there, and the blocking is great. But watch this. Look at here. He's hit at the 4, but watch where he ends up. Inside the 1. Nickerson's there, but he needs some help.
It is a second and goal from the 1. Rick Strom, the backup quarterback, second-year pro from Georgia Tech, warming up. You see the movement. And we could see Strom take over for Brister.
Encroachment, 97 defense, half the distance to the goal, still second down.
97 is Aaron Jones, so it is now about a half yard to go for the touchdown. There is Strom, who has not played a down this season. Just under 9 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Page. No indication as of yet. Nickerson and Little stacked him up, and they did stop him short of the goal line. Tony Page, in his days with the New York Jets, was the goal line specialist.
Page goes right up the middle, but the defensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and one thing I'm telling you, this defense they have not quit all day long. 21 points were scored against them in the first half, none so far here in the second half. And this defense, you know, you talk about character, they have character.
Third and goal. 88 Kitchen in motion. And he is in for the score. Crowd doesn't like the call. But Tony Page, again, with the second effort, was able to get the ball across the plane of the goal line, and the Dolphins extend the lead.
Arnell Lake makes a good play. Takes on the blocker in the backfield. Now watch, he'll hit Page here, but the first thing you got to think about is where the ball is. Now the ball got in, then Hardy Nickerson pulls him back, and so does Lake, but the ball had already crossed the plane of the goal line according to the official.
Third touchdown of the season for Page, the other two on receptions. Tony Page, in his 7th year out of Virginia Tech, has been a valuable addition to this Dolphins squad. Miami now leads 27-6. And Stoyanovich comes on for the point after. Crowd continues to file out. The crusher for the Steelers. The interception by Kumaro down at the 5-yard line off the deflection. Make it 27, make it 28-6. Dolphins. 8:21 to go in the 4th. Miami Dolphins with a 28-6 lead now. The Pittsburgh Steelers. We've heard from Bob Costas today on a number of occasions during the course of his updates, but you've been very low-key with Bob. You've been tormenting him recently.
Well, no, I got his golf clubs with him. Bobby, this is a bag. You missed the Buffalo Bills alumni tournament, so I got this bag for you. Your clubs were ready. We're sorry you couldn't make it. We'll see you next year. We'll keep your bag warm for you, pal.
You are brutal. A penalty marker is down as Dwight Stone returns the kickoff. A 37-yard return by Stone. And let's see if we'll see Rick Strom check in for Bubby Brister.
Illegal block from behind, number 99 on the run back, 10 yards, first down.
Well, first they bring it back. A.J. Jenkins, the man who's called on the penalty, and here comes Strom out of the bullpen, and as is usually the case, the backup always hears it at least for the first series.
Yeah, they do, and it'd be nice if Strom could have had the ball at the 40-yard line instead of back down on the 10-yard line.
So Bubby Brister 7 for 18, 76 yards. Another rough day for Bubby. 3 interceptions. The Pittsburgh offense not getting anything going for the 4th straight week. And Rick Strom, in his 2nd season out of Georgia Tech, fumbles on his first snap and then recovers. Cliff Odom was right there, but Strom able to cover up. Now, last year, Strom threw 1 pass against the Jets, did not complete it, made brief relief appearances in 3 games. There's Bubby looking on now. Pittsburgh signed Strom as a free agent last year. He was dropped and then was signed to the Steelers developmental squad. He is a native of Pittsburgh and now looks at a 2nd down and 13, and Strom is on the run and gets out to the 9. Tim McKyer is there to make the stop. Set for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas and NFL Live.
All right, Marv, the Colts getting closer in Philadelphia. Here's a 26-yard run for the touchdown by Albert Bentley. Watch the stutter step to get by Terry Hogue, and it's 20-17. Very interesting on camera a moment ago, Marv. I note that my golf bag is nearly as small as Paul McGuire's bookshelf.
Whoa!
I like that.
Bob working hours on that one.
Well, he's quick. The kid is quick.
It is a 3rd down and 11. And Strom to throw. Able to complete. Richard Bell short of the first down. And he was covered by the right corner, J.B. Brown. So Pittsburgh will punt. And you can hear the reaction. Dan Straczynski will check in. Following the Dolphins and the Steelers, 2nd half of the doubleheader, we suggest you check local listings. Can you see people checking local listings?
Yeah, you can.
I like to say that, check your local listings, but I guess they would check it. The big one, Cleveland, Kansas City. But Carson having his difficulties. The Browns 1 up and 2 down. And former Cleveland Brown head coach Marty Schottenheimer would love to put a further dent into that Brown record. Tony Martin on the fair catch, 43-yard punt. So Miami takes over with 6 minutes 4 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Other games, Houston playing at San Diego, the Jets at New England. That is the second half of our doubleheader here on NBC.
Yeah, the thing about Strom, when he got in the game, he misses a snap from center. That's the first thing that happens on the first play. Second play is a busted play again. I mean, that was not a designed quarterback run. And then he completes the pass for 8 yards and they have to punt.
And Scott Secules has come on, providing a rest for Dan Marino. Secules in his 3rd season out of Virginia. Final stats on Marino: 17 for 28, 174 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Very strong game. Mark Higgs, 3-year man from Kentucky, the ball carrier, stopped by Greg Lloyd. So Don Shula now doing some shuffling with the 28-6 lead.
You know, everybody talks about the Marino 300 games when he came in, and the amount of yardage that he has mounted in all the years that he's played. But the one thing about Marino that he says, I don't care if I throw for 100 yards as long as we win the football game. And that's his attitude. It's not important to build up stats. The only important one is the win-loss column.
Well, his unhappiness was a major concern in the offseason. Unhappiness concerning his contract, which the feeling is the Dolphins will take care of in short time. That's Higgs again. Also unhappy about the Dolphins' mediocre play in recent seasons, but now with the look of a running game, the way Sammy Smith has played in 3 of the 4 Miami contests, things seem to be looking up. And reportedly his relationship with Don Shula had deteriorated over the years, but apparently that is now back in a positive mode. And Dan Marino had himself a solid day, although, as you say, the statistics were not explosive.
Don't have to be, as long as they win. That man, I mean, he is a competitor.
And enjoying it back here in his hometown of Pittsburgh. Here's Stratford. Oh, battling for a first down. A penalty marker thrown. Gerald Williams able to get Stratford out of bounds. Out of 4.5 remaining in this fourth quarter, and the hold against the Dolphins. Now the Blue Jays over the Red Sox in the 6th inning. Cubs maintaining the lead over the Mets. Pirates and Cardinals in St. Louis. No score in the 5th. Magic number for Pittsburgh is
holding. 1. Offense, 10 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
Well, that is the 3rd holding penalty on the Miami Dolphins, who are rarely penalized. But when they are, it's usually for a hold.
I think the Miami Dolphins, near the end it gets sloppy with both teams, but the Miami Dolphins really had a game plan coming in here offensively and defensively. I think they just shut down the running game totally of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It is a 3rd down and 10. High snap handled by Secules, and a nice play. Good recovery by Scott Secules. Rod Woodson on the tackle.
That's a design Secules play. Marino doesn't have that one in his book.
Let's see, Scott going, what, 6'3", 220. And there is the final stat line on Dan Marino. He has faced the Steelers now 7 times, and this will make it 5 wins in the 7 games. He had lost his previous 2, including the come from behind victory by Pittsburgh last year in Miami in the downpour. So Roby back to punt from his 32. Rod Woodson waiting for the punt at his 10. Handles the low snap. And Woodson eludes the tackle attempt. That was African Grant who went flying in the path of Woodson. A 41-yard punt by Roby. Mike Reichenbach with the stop tomorrow night, meet the freshest new faces in comedy, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Ferris Bueller, followed by an NBC world premiere movie, A Promise to Keep, starring Dana Delaney of China Beach. And you could win at least $1 million when you watch Ferris Bueller and play McMillions right here on NBC. Rick Strom in his second series and taking over for Bubby Brister, starting from the 18-yard line. That is Hodge in motion. Worley trying to cut back, and he was clobbered. The strong safety, Jarvis Williams, getting to him.
Jarvis Williams has had a great day on defense. I mean, he has caused some problems for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He blitzed a couple of times. Got to Bubby Brister in the first half. But coming to your right, there's Worley, number 38, and watch Jarvis come in right now. Gets away from Merle Hodge. He does not block him at all, and he takes him down by his lonesome.
Second down and 9 at the 19. And the sun has broken through the clouds. Rick Strom stopped by Jeff Cross, and a flag is down. Make it worse for the Steelers. The hold is against them.
I'd refuse this play. You know when a team's playing bad when even the wives of the players
Holding,
are leaving.
65 offense. Penalties decline.
That's
Third
the left
down.
tackle, John Jackson.
And he's holding Jeff Cross, number 91. You'll see it right to the left of your screen, and that's holding. The worst part about it is the guy, not only you're holding him, the guy beats you and then makes the tackle and sacks the quarterback.
3rd and 16 back at the 12. Dolphins 28 and the Steelers 6. Time running down in the 4th quarter. Nice catch by Derek Hill. So Rick Strom with his first completion. Jarvis Williams on the stop. And it is a rare first down for the Steelers. It is only their 7th of the game.
Strom hits Hill, but just take a look at it again. We saw it even with Bubby. As long as they have time, they can make the play. But Kyer's the guy that went for the ball and missed it, misjudged the ball. Here's the first down. Nice catch. And a total of 7.
They had only one in the first half, and they got that in the final minute. Strom with the deep drop, and he completes. Lips to the 45, picked up 21. Oliver on the stop. And another first down for the Steelers. 1:55 remaining. 4th quarter. We'll take a break. Back after these words.
To go in Buffalo, Denver on the verge of going up 24-9, but the field goal blocked, returned for a touchdown, and then this. Don Criqui calls it.
Tip ball, intercepted. The ball's picked off by Leonard Smith. He's going to go in, and Buffalo takes the lead.
They missed the extra point, but then Elway fumbled, and Buffalo has just recovered on the 3. An unbelievable reversal of fortunes for the Broncos, and Buffalo poised for the win. Marv?
All right, Bob, so the Buffalo Bills coming off the victory over the Jets on Monday night, turning it around here against the Broncos. 1:55 remaining in the 4th quarter. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have a first down at the Miami 45-yard line. Play action. And it is complete for another Pittsburgh first down. 14-yard pass to Derek Hill. The Steelers have run only 9 plays in Miami territory throughout the day.
Been a long time trying to get in there.
First down at the 31, and it's Malarkey. Close to the first down. Lifford Hobley on the stop. Of course, in this situation, Rick Strom and the Steelers are facing a prevent alignment with Miami giving up quite a bit in terms of the medium range passes, penalty markers all over the place. Completed to Lips. But let's see what the call is.
You sit in a situation like that. We talked to Tom Olivadotti about this yesterday, and it's against his movement against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Tommy said, when I'm in a situation like that, I'm 28-6. We're going to sit back, and we're going to give him the short stuff.
And if they're going to run off 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, that's fine.
Number 84 offense, 5 yards, still second down.
This one against the tight end, Mike Malarkey. Intriguing article in today's Pittsburgh Press. What with the Steelers having all kinds of offensive woes, so suggestions were made by fans concerning what is the problem with the Pittsburgh offense, and they received some interesting replies. Someone wrote that the Steelers are victims of a conspiracy masterminded by Jerry Glanville, who transformed himself into an exact replica of Elvis and then invited the players to a party that Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin were throwing. Not all these were in particularly good taste, it should be pointed out. It's a 2nd down and 6. And down goes Strom. That's the 5th sack of the day for Miami, but a penalty marker also thrown. Cross and Oglesby involved on the sack.
Holding, number 60 offense. Penalty is declined.
And again, it's Brian Blankenship.
Well, I mean, it's just getting sloppy now, and Strom's going back, and watch this whole thing cave in. Here comes Cross again. He's just having a great day.
Paul,
another yellow hanky.
Another fan says that the Steelers are just too clean. He's not talking about sportsmanship. He suggests that all the offensive players quit taking showers. The Sunday finally will come that they'll be so offensive the opposing defense will allow them to waltz into the end zone. Here's Strom throwing, and it's broken up. Intended for Hill. Took a pretty good shot.
If that ball would have been on target, Lifford Hobley might have had his first interception today.
Strom is now 5 for 6, 76 yards. Looking ahead, the second half of our NBC doubleheader will feature the Browns and the Chiefs playing at Kansas City. Houston goes against San Diego, and the Jets and New England. Next week, the Dolphins home for the Jets and then home for New England, while Pittsburgh next Sunday, back here for San Diego, then to the road for Denver and San Francisco. Strom took the hit by Jeff Cross, who has had an outstanding day, and the pass incomplete with 52 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Well, it looks like Pittsburgh goes 4 straight games without a touchdown. I don't know if that's a record, but it's a bad average.
Yes.
Thank you, Mark. I knew you'd get that in.
Very well captured, Paul. Tonight, start off the night with one of the funniest and hottest new shows on NBC, the season premiere of Hull High. And then don't miss the premiere of a critically acclaimed new series. It's Life Stories, followed by an all-new Perry Mason mystery. That'll be Perry Mason, The Case of the Defiant Daughter, tonight, right here on NBC. It has been a very happy journey to Pittsburgh for Don Shula. Delay of game is taken by the Dolphins, just looking to run the clock out now with 52 seconds remaining. So the Dolphins took over on downs. First down from the 15. I should say 1st and 15 from the 29. And they are just running it out. NFL Live's postgame coming up following Miami and Pittsburgh. Bob, Will, and O.J. plus an interview with NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. He'll be responding to the New England Patriot situation that was discussed earlier today with Patriot owner Victor Kiam and Lisa Olson of the Boston Herald in the midst of that ridiculous situation actually up in New England. Pittsburgh with only 160 total yards, only 9 first downs, a couple of touchdowns by Sammy Smith, a 35-yard pass play from Marino to Clayton. Pittsburgh scoring 2 field goals. by Gary Anderson from 46 and from 35. And then in the fourth quarter, Tony Page closed it off with that 1-yard run to make it 28-6. And that's the final as time has run out on the Steelers. Another woeful performance offensively, and they fall to 1-3, while Miami now with a record of 3 up and 1 down. The Dolphins look ahead to the Jets next Sunday